Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive. It's going to be a little bit different today.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Dreamland.
Dreamland.
And, usually our deep dives are about, history and economics and politics and all these things. But sometimes it's good to just relax.
Yeah.
So that's what this deep dive is about.
I like it.
And, I think you're going to add a lot to this because you know a lot about this stuff.
Well, I'm fascinated by the idea of Dreamland and this concept of a space that's purely designed for peace and tranquility. I think it speaks to a deep human need, in a world that's so often chaotic and stressful.
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of delve into this and see what we discover.
Okay, cool. So I think the best way to do this would be to sort of just walk through these different scenarios.
I like it.
And you can tell me, what you think about each one.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so the first scenario, it's called Snowy Mountain Cabin.
Okay.
So imagine this. It's a cozy little cabin. It's nestled on a snowy mountainside. You step inside and there's a woman named Nora.
Okay.
She's settled in with her golden retriever named Miso by a crackling fire. There's like the aroma of peppermint tea in the air.
I love peppermint tea.
And she's just reading a book. It's quiet. Outside, the snow is falling softly.
Oh, that sounds so peaceful.
And it's just blanketing the world in this hush.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
I love it. First of all, cabins, right?
Yeah.
They just have this inherent cozy vibe.
Yeah.
It's like they're designed for warmth and comfort and just shutting out the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Then you add in the snow, the crackling fire, the dog. It's like hitting all the right notes for relaxation.
Totally.
But I think there's also something deeper going on here. It's like this scenario taps into our primal need for shelter and security.
Oh, interesting.
That cabin? It acts as a buffer against the harshness of the outside world. It's like a little haven, a safe space. And studies have actually shown that environments that evoke this sense of enclosure and protection can actually lower our heart rate and reduce stress hormones.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, so it's not just about the cozy vibes. Our bodies are actually responding to this sense of safety and security.
This is like a physiological response as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, even just imagining that scenario can trigger those feelings of calm and relaxation.
Yeah. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of being wrapped up in a warm blanket.
I love that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so that's our first one, Snowy Mountain Cabin.
All right.
What do we got next?
Let's see. Okay, this one is called Floating Garden.
Floating Garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine a lake, but it's perfectly still. So still that it reflects the stars above like a mirror.
Okay.
And on this lake, there's a garden that's floating, filled with lilies that are blooming under the starlight.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And there's an old man named Soren.
Soren.
He tends to this floating oasis. He rows his little boat between the lilies.
That's cool.
And he hums these ancient tunes as he works.
I like that.
So what do you think?
Well, that's beautiful imagery, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely different from the cabin.
Right.
But it also seems very peaceful and serene.
Yeah, and I think this one really speaks to our fascination with timelessness and the cyclical nature of life.
Oh, how so?
Well, you've got the calm lake, the starlit sky, the man humming these tunes that have probably been passed down through generations. It all creates this sense of continuity, like we're connected to something larger than ourselves.
That's a really good point.
It's like we're stepping outside of the relentless pace of modern life and tapping into something ancient and eternal.
Yeah, it's like that idea of slow living.
Exactly.
Which I know is a real thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a whole philosophy that emphasizes simplifying life and reconnecting with natural rhythms. And it's been shown to have some pretty amazing effects on mental well-being.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So this floating garden scenario, it's not just about pretty imagery. It's about tapping into a way of life that's more in tune with nature and our own inner rhythms.
So it's about slowing down, disconnecting from the hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
What about the connection to nature? Like we were talking about that earlier with the cabin.
Definitely. I think that's a key element here too. Both the cabin and the floating garden, they place us in these natural environments that are inherently calming and restorative.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like our nervous systems are wired to respond to the peace and beauty of the natural world.
Okay, so we've got the Snowy Mountain Cabin, we've got the floating garden. What's next?
Okay, this one is called Artist's Treehouse.
Okay, Artist's Treehouse.
Yeah. So picture this. It's a treehouse nestled among the branches of some towering pine trees. And this treehouse belongs to May, a young artist.
Okay.
She spends her days capturing the colors of the forest in her paintings. The vibrant hues of the sunsets, the misty mornings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's wind chimes that tinkle in the breeze.
Nice.
And at night, the only sounds are the rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl.
That's so peaceful.
So what do you think of this one?
I love it. I've always wanted to live in a tree house as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
It just seems so magical and adventurous, but also peaceful in a way.
Yeah, and I think this one really highlights the connection between nature and creativity.
Okay.
You know, that treehouse, it becomes a space for May to connect with the natural world and express herself artistically.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this concept called biophilia, which is our innate human tendency to seek connections with nature.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like we're hardwired to be drawn to nature. And studies have shown that exposure to natural environments can actually boost creativity, reduce stress, and even improve cognitive function.
Wow. So being in nature is actually good for our brains.
Exactly.
Great essay.
So this artist's treehouse, it's not just a whimsical setting. It's actually tapping into something deeply rooted in our biology.
I like that. So it's like nature is our muse in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a reminder that we can find inspiration and peace in the simplest things.
Okay. So we've had Snowy Mountain Cabin, Floating Garden Artist Treehouse. They've all been very peaceful.
Yeah, right.
What else do we have?
Okay, this one's a little bit different. It's called Shepherd in Rolling Meadows.
Okay.
So picture vast rolling meadows stretching as far as the eye can see.
Okay.
And there's a shepherd named Theo.
Theo!
Yeah, he's tending to his flock of sheep.
Oh,
He takes naps under a giant oak tree.
nice.
The sheep bells are tinkling in the distance. Bees are buzzing lazily among the wildflowers.
Beautiful.
And above him, the wide open sky stretches out, creating this sense of boundless space.
So simple.
Yeah.
But peaceful.
Totally. And I think this scenario really speaks to our yearning for a simpler way of life.
Right.
It's like we're constantly bombarded with information and stimulation in the modern world.
Sure.
But this scene, it strips everything back to the essentials. It's just Theo, the sheep, the meadows, and the sky.
And the oak tree.
And the oak tree, right?
Yeah.
And there's a growing body of research that supports the benefits of this kind of simplicity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like studies have shown that taking a digital detox, spending time in nature, disconnecting from technology, it can have a profound impact on our well-being.
Interesting. So it's like we need that time to unplug and recharge.
Exactly.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. And this shepherd and rolling meadows scenario, it's like a perfect illustration of that.
Yeah, it's like a meditation in motion in a way.
I love that.
Just being present with the rhythms of nature.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, so we've had some pretty down-to-earth scenarios so far, but this next one I think is a little more whimsical.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's called the Moon Market.
The moon market.
Yeah.
I like that.
So picture this. It's a market, but it only appears at dusk.
Oh, wow.
It's bathed in moonlight,
Sounds magical already.
and the vendors, they sell all sorts of enchanting goods like glowing lanterns and jars of stardust and pastries that taste like dreams.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And there's even a tea stall run by a woman named Isla.
Isla.
Yeah, and she brews these calming tea blends with herbs that shimmer faintly in the moonlight.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm going to the moon market.
Right.
I love this one.
So what do you think about this one from a, psychological perspective?
Well, I think it taps into our love of fantasy and escape.
Okay.
It's like in the real world, we're bound by logic and reason.
Yeah.
But the moon market, it offers us a glimpse into a world where anything is possible.
Yeah.
Where magic and wonder are real.
And it's okay to believe in those things.
Exactly. And, engaging with fantasy, even just through imagination, it can have real psychological benefits.
Really?
Yeah. Studies have shown that it can stimulate creativity, enhance problem-solving skills, and even provide a temporary escape from stress.
Interesting. So it's like giving our minds a break from reality.
Yeah, it's like a mental vacation.
So the moon market is our mental vacation.
Yeah, and it reminds us to hold on to that sense of wonder that we often lose as we get older.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got one more for now.
Okay, bring it on.
This one is called Nighttime Library.
Ooh, a nighttime library.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling calmer.
So imagine this. It's a library, but it only opens after the sun sets.
Okay.
And there's this librarian named Elias.
Elias?
And he spends his evenings reading aloud to those who can't sleep. The library is filled with overstuffed chairs and warm blankets.
I love overstuffed chairs.
Yeah, there's the scent of old books and vanilla candles in the air.
Oh, that's so cozy.
Yeah, and it's just a really peaceful and inviting atmosphere.
I love it.
What do you think about this one?
Well, first of all, libraries, right? They're already kind of magical places.
Yeah.
You know, they're filled with stories and knowledge, and they offer this sense of quiet and solitude that's hard to find in the modern world.
Yeah, they're like a sanctuary.
Exactly. And then you add in the nighttime setting, the soft voice, reading aloud, the cozy atmosphere. It's like the perfect recipe for relaxation and sleep. And, you know, there's actually a scientific basis for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's related to this growing field called ASMR.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and ASMR, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And basically it's this phenomenon where certain sounds and visuals can trigger these feelings of deep relaxation and even euphoria.
Interesting. So it's like a physical response to certain stimuli.
Exactly. And the nighttime library, it's like a perfect example of this. You know, the quiet rustle of pages, the soft voice reading aloud, the warm, dimly lit atmosphere. It all works together to create this incredibly soothing and sleep-inducing environment.
It's like a lullaby for adults.
Exactly. And it reminds us of the power of storytelling and a soothing voice to calm the mind and help us drift off to sleep.
Yeah, it takes me back to my childhood.
Me too.
You know, like being read bedtime stories.
Yeah, it's like tapping into that deep sense of comfort and security.
Okay, so we've had Snowy Mountain Cabin, Floating Garden Artists, Treehouse Shepherd, and Rolling Meadows, Moon Market, and Nighttime Library.
Wow, that's quite a collection.
Yeah, they're all very different,
They are.
but they all seem to evoke this sense of peace and tranquility.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so fascinating about Dreamland.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about one specific place or experience. It's about this universal human desire to find moments of peace and escape from the chaos of everyday life.
I agree.
And these scenarios, they offer us a glimpse into that possibility.
Yeah.
They remind us that even in a world that's often overwhelming and stressful,
Yeah.
there are still places and experiences that can bring us a sense of calm and wonder.
That's a really nice thought.
Yeah, I think we all need a little bit of dreamland in our lives.
I agree. So what do we have next?
All right, for our next stop, let's head to the seaside.
The seaside?
Yeah, picture a secluded beach as the sun begins to set.
Okay.
There's an elderly woman named Marin.
Marin.
Yeah, she's walking along the shore collecting sea glass.
Sea glass.
Yeah, she gathers these colorful pieces that have been smoothed and polished by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps them in jars by her window where they catch the sunlight.
I like that.
Yeah, they cast these little dancing reflections on her walls.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it seems like a very simple activity,
It is.
but there's something really peaceful and calming about it. You know,
Right.
just the image of her walking along the shore, collecting these little pieces of beauty.
Yeah, and I think this scenario speaks to the power of mindfulness.
Okay, how so?
Well, Marin's focus on this simple, repetitive task, it allows her to be fully present in the moment.
She's not worried about the past or the future.
Exactly. She's just there on the beach, appreciating the beauty of nature and the calming rhythm of the waves.
It's like a form of meditation. That's exactly it. And mindfulness, which is all about paying attention to the present moment without judgment, it's been shown to have incredible benefits for our mental and emotional well-being.
Like what?
Well, studies have shown that mindfulness practices can reduce stress, improve focus, and even promote emotional regulation.
That's amazing. So something as simple as collecting sea glass can actually have a positive impact on our well-being.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most peaceful and fulfilling experiences are the ones that are the simplest and most connected to nature.
Okay, so we've had Snowy Mountain Cabin, Floating Garden Artists, Treehouse Shepherd, and Rolling Meadows, Moon Market, Nighttime Library, and now Seaside Sea Glass.
Wow, that's quite a journey.
It is, right?
And, you know what's interesting to me is that each of these scenarios speaks to different aspects of tranquility.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've got the need for security, the desire for connection, the power of nature,
Yeah.
the joy of simplicity.
Right.
It's like we're piecing together a mosaic of peace with each scene offering a unique tile.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, what would our own personal mosaic of peace look like? What elements would we choose to include?
That's a great question. And I think that's something we can definitely explore further in our next part.
Absolutely.
But for now, I think we've had a pretty good overview of Dreamland.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
So thanks for joining us on this first part of our journey.
Yeah, this is fun.
And we'll be back soon to explore even more peaceful and inspiring scenarios.
Can't wait.
So until then, keep dreaming, And stay tranquil.
It really is like a mosaic of peace, isn't it?
Yeah.
All these different pieces coming together.
So what's our next piece?
Okay, this one takes us to a hidden valley
Okay.
in the heart of a bamboo forest.
Ooh, bamboo forest.
So imagine this.
Okay.
There's a secluded hot spring.
Mm-hmm.
It's nestled amidst these towering bamboo stalks.
Wow.
The air is thick with the scent of cedar and earth.
I love that smell.
Yeah, and steam is rising gently from the spring,
Okay.
creating this kind of mystical atmosphere. Yeah, and nearby there's a young woman named Akiko,
Akiko.
and she's practicing Tai Chi in a clearing.
Tai Chi.
Her movements are slow and fluid,
Mm-hmm.
echoing the gentle sway of the bamboo.
It's like she's a part of the forest.
Exactly. It's like she's become one with the forest.
Yeah.
Her movements are in perfect harmony with nature's rhythm.
That's a beautiful image.
And, that concept of harmony, it's central to Tai Chi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not just about physical exercise.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a balance of energy
Mm-hmm.
within the body and mind.
So it's like a holistic practice.
Exactly. And research suggests that practicing Tai Chi can have a range of benefits.
Like what?
Well, for starters, it can reduce stress,
Good.
improve sleep,
Mm-hmm.
enhance flexibility and balance.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
It makes you wonder if those benefits are even greater
Yeah,
when you're practicing in such a tranquil setting.
right? Like surrounded by nature's energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's definitely something to be said for that.
Okay, so we've had the hot springs in the bamboo forest.
Yes.
Where are we going next?
All right, for our next stop, let's journey to a remote island.
Remote island.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's a solitary lighthouse
Okay.
standing tall against the crashing waves.
I can hear it now.
Yeah.
The waves crashing.
So imagine this.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old sea captain named Finn,
Finn,
and he tends to this lighthouse.
he lives there all alone.
He does. He spends his days polishing the brass, tending to the lamp,
Mm.
and just watching the waves crash against the rocky shore.
Wow.
Yeah, and the solitude, the rhythmic pulse of the sea,
Yeah.
and the knowledge that his light is guiding ships safely through the night.
It gives his life meaning.
Exactly. It brings him a sense of peace.
I can see that.
Lighthouses, they often symbolize resilience and guidance.
That's true.
They stand strong against the elements.
Yeah.
And I think Finn embodies that same spirit.
He's a guardian,
He is
not just of the lighthouse, but of the sea itself.
beautifully said, and yeah, it makes you think.
Yeah.
How much of tranquility is about our internal state
Oh, interesting.
versus our external environment?
So, could we find peace even in the middle of chaos?
Exactly. If we cultivate the right mindset.
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's something to ponder.
Okay. Well, we've had the hot springs, we've had the lighthouse.
Mhm.
Where are we going next?
Okay, this one takes us to a bustling city.
A city.
Yeah, but with a twist.
Okay, I like twists.
We're heading to a rooftop garden oasis.
A rooftop garden oasis.
Yeah, it's hidden away above the noise and chaos of the streets below.
Sounds peaceful already.
So imagine this.
Okay.
The rooftop have been transformed into a haven of tranquility.
Mm-hmm.
There are fragrant herbs and colorful flowers blooming everywhere.
Beautiful.
Bees are buzzing lazily among the blossoms.
Mm-hmm.
And a group of friends gather there every evening
Okay.
for a potluck dinner.
Nice.
They share stories and laughter under the twinkling city lights.
That sounds lovely.
It is. It's like they've created their own little sanctuary.
Yeah, a world apart from the city below.
Exactly. And, this scenario, it really speaks to the importance of community.
Community.
Yeah, and social connection in fostering well-being.
Okay.
Studies have shown that strong social bonds can have a significant positive impact on both our mental and physical health.
Interesting.
Yeah, so these rooftop gatherings,
Yeah.
they provide a sense of belonging, shared experience,
Yeah.
support.
And that leads to peace.
Yeah, exactly. They're all essential ingredients for a peaceful life,
So peace isn't always about solitude.
right? Sometimes it's about finding those connections
Yeah.
that nourish our soul.
Okay, so we've had the bamboo forest, the lighthouse, the rooftop garden. What's next?
All right, let's step back in time for this one.
Ooh, I like time travel.
We're going to visit an ancient library.
An ancient library.
Yeah, it's filled with dusty tomes and forgotten lore.
Sounds mysterious.
It is. So imagine this. You step inside, and the shelves are overflowing with books.
Wow.
They hold the wisdom of generations.
Amazing.
There's a wise old scholar named Isabella.
Isabella.
Yeah, and she spends her days amidst these treasures,
Mm-hmm.
deciphering ancient texts piecing together the stories of long ago civilizations.
It's like she's a time traveler herself.
She kind of is, right? She's bridging the gap between the past and the present.
I like that.
And the scent of old paper and leather fills the air, creating this atmosphere of timelessness.
It sounds very peaceful.
It is. And, libraries, they have this unique ability to transport us through time and across cultures.
That's true.
It's like we could step into the shoes of those who came before us and learn from their experiences.
And that brings peace.
Exactly. It's a pursuit of knowledge, the understanding of our place in the grand narrative of history.
It makes you feel connected to something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that connection, it can be incredibly calming and grounding.
So the ancient library is our portal to inner peace.
I like that.
Okay, we've had the bamboo forest, the lighthouse, the rooftop garden, the ancient library. What else is there?
Okay, this one is all about creativity.
Okay.
We're going to visit a cozy pottery studio.
A pottery studio.
Yeah, imagine a space filled with the earthy scent of clay.
I love that smell.
Yeah, and the gentle hum of spinning wheels.
Okay.
There's a group of artists. They gather here each week.
Okay.
Their hands shaping the clay, their brushes bringing color to life.
It's like they're creating something out of nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they work side by side, sharing techniques, laughter, and the joy of creation.
That sounds like a really positive and supportive environment.
It is. And this scenario, it speaks to the power of flow state.
Flow state?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
I think so.
It's that state of deep immersion and focus.
Okay.
When you're fully engaged in an activity that you enjoy.
Yeah, like when you're so absorbed in something that you lose track of time.
Exactly. And when we're in a flow state, our worries fade away. We experience this sense of profound satisfaction.
So it's like a form of meditation almost.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that we can find peace and fulfillment, not just in the end result, but in the process itself.
The journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've had the bamboo forest, the lighthouse, the rooftop garden, the ancient library, the pottery studio. What's our final destination for this part of the journey?
Okay, for this one, we're going to a desert landscape.
A desert?
Yeah, but it's bathed in the soft glow of moonlight.
Okay.
Let's picture this. A group of friends are gathered around a crackling campfire.
Okay.
Under a canopy of a million stars.
Wow.
They're sharing stories, laughter, music, their voices blending with the sounds of the desert night.
That sounds magical.
It is. And, deserts, they often symbolize vastness and solitude. They offer a sense of perspective and connection to the natural world.
It's like you're a small part of something much bigger.
Exactly. And that realization, it can be incredibly humbling and peaceful.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like the desert strips away all the unnecessary distractions and leaves us with the essentials.
The stars, the fire, the company of friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because even though this scenario is set in a place that's often seen as harsh and unforgiving, it still evokes this sense of peace and tranquility.
It's because of the connection.
Yes, the connection with nature, with each other.
And with ourselves.
Exactly.
So we've had the bamboo forest, the lighthouse, the rooftop garden, the ancient library, the pottery studio, and the desert.
That's quite a collection of dreamland destinations.
It is. And you know what strikes me?
What's that?
Is how each of these scenarios speaks to a different aspect of finding peace.
Oh, yeah.
Like some resonate with the desire for solitude in nature, while others highlight the power of connection and community. It's like we're discovering different pathways to tranquility.
I love that.
And each one is unique and personal.
Exactly. And that's what makes this exploration so fascinating.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm curious to hear what's resonating with you the most.
Yeah.
What elements are you finding particularly calming or inspiring?
Yeah, it really is amazing how all of these different scenes, they speak to these different parts of us, about finding that peace. And I like how some of them are, like you said, solitude in nature, and then others are about having that community and connection.
Right, it's like a spectrum.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So do we have any more?
Oh yeah, we've got a few more up our sleeve.
Okay.
So for this next one, imagine a hidden meadow.
Okay.
In the middle of a vast sunflower field.
Okay, a meadow in a sunflower field.
Yeah, sunflowers are all stretching towards the sun.
Beautiful.
Right, their bright faces creating this sea of gold.
Yeah.
And then tucked away in the center, there's this secret meadow.
Wow.
And in the meadow, there's a single willow tree, swaying gently in the breeze.
Okay.
Underneath the willow tree, there's a hammock.
Ooh, a hammock.
Yeah, swinging invitingly. And a young woman named Alara is lying there.
Alara.
Yeah, she's reading poetry and sipping iced tea.
That sounds so peaceful.
It is, right? And I think what's interesting about this one is the contrast between the vastness of the sunflower field and the intimacy of that little meadow.
It's like a little pocket of serenity.
Exactly. And it reminds us that sometimes finding peace is about creating those boundaries, those personal spaces where we can retreat and recharge.
So even if you're out, in the world, you
Yeah.
can still find that little space.
Exactly. It's about honoring our need for solitude, even when we're surrounded by a lot of activity.
I like that. So we've had the meadow in the sunflower field.
Yes.
What's next?
Okay, this one takes us to a rainforest,
Okay.
but not just any rainforest. We're going to a treetop village.
A treetop village.
Yeah. Imagine a network of rope bridges
Oh, cool.
connecting these tree houses high above the rainforest floor.
Like they're living in the canopy.
Exactly. And the villagers, they move with such grace and agility.
They must be used to it.
Oh, yeah. They're practically one with the forest.
So cool.
I think this one speaks to our yearning for a simpler way of life,
Yeah.
a life that's more connected to nature.
More in tune with the natural rhythms.
Exactly. And there's a lot of research out there
Yeah.
about the benefits of spending time in nature.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even just looking at pictures of nature can have a positive impact on our well-being.
Really?
Yeah, it can reduce stress, improve mood, and even enhance cognitive function.
Wow. So we should all be spending more time in nature.
I think so.
All right, so we've had the meadow in the sunflower field, the treetop village. Where are we going now?
Okay, this one brings us back to the city.
Back to the city.
Yeah, but don't worry, it's still peaceful.
Okay.
We're going to a hidden bookstore.
A hidden bookstore.
Yeah, imagine you're walking down a busy city street,
Okay.
all the noise and chaos swirling around you.
I can hear it now.
And then you notice this unassuming little door tucked between a bakery and a flower shop.
Okay.
Curiosity draws you in. You step inside, and you discover this magical world of books.
I love bookstores.
Me too. It's like stepping into another dimension
Yeah,
where time slows down and worries fade away.
it's true.
There are floor-to-ceiling shelves filled with literary treasures.
I could get lost in there for hours.
Me too. There are comfy armchairs inviting you to linger.
And the smell of old books.
Yes, the scent of old paper and coffee.
That's the best.
It is. And this hidden bookstore,
Yeah,
it offers an escape from the constant stimulation of modern life.
totally.
It's a place to unplug, disconnect from the digital world, and reconnect with the simple pleasure of reading.
It's a digital detox.
Exactly. And studies have shown that reading can actually reduce stress, improve sleep, and even increase empathy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So reading is good for us in more ways than one. Okay, we've had the meadow in the sunflower field, the treetop village, the hidden bookstore. What's next?
Okay, this one is a classic.
Okay, bring on.
We're going to a secluded beach at sunset.
Ooh, I love the beach.
Me too. So imagine walking along this deserted beach.
Okay.
The sand is soft beneath your feet. You can hear the gentle roar of the ocean.
Yes.
The sky is ablaze with color
Beautiful.
as the sun dips below the horizon.
And you're all alone.
You're completely alone. Just you and the vastness of the sea.
It's like the world just melts away.
Exactly. And all that's left is the beauty of the moment.
I love that.
Yeah, and that feeling of awe, that sense of being connected to something larger than ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a key element of what psychologists call the overview effect.
The overview effect.
Yeah, it's something that astronauts often describe
Oh, really?
when they view Earth from space.
Okay.
They talk about this profound shift in perspective,
Wow.
a sense of interconnectedness and a renewed appreciation for the fragility of our planet.
That's powerful.
It is. And while we may not all be able to experience space travel,
Right.
I think moments of awe in nature can offer a similar kind of shift.
So like a mini overview effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds us of our place in the grand scheme of things.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the meadow, the treetop village, the hidden bookstore, the beach at sunset. Do we have one more?
We do. This is our final Dreamland destination.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, picture a jazz club on a rainy night.
A jazz club.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're sitting at a small table in this dimly lit club. Rain is pattering against the windows.
I can hear it.
Yeah, and the air is thick with the scent of smoke and perfume.
Okay.
On stage, there's a quartet playing a slow, bluesy tune.
I love jazz.
Me too. And the sound of the saxophone.
Yeah.
It washes over you like a warm wave.
That sounds amazing.
It is. And, there's something so intimate and soulful about jazz music.
Yeah.
It's like it speaks directly to the heart.
Bypassing all the noise of the mind.
Yeah, exactly. And there's actually a lot of research being done.
Really?
Yeah, on the psychological and physiological effects of music.
Okay.
Studies have shown that music can reduce stress, alleviate pain, and even improve cognitive function.
Wow. So music is medicine.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
And jazz, with its improvisational nature
Yeah.
and its focus on emotional expression, it seems particularly good at tapping into those deeper emotional centers.
It's like a form of emotional release.
Exactly. And that shared experience,
Yeah.
that feeling of connection through music, it's something that resonates deeply with us as humans.
We're all connected.
We are. And it reminds us of our innate need for belonging, for community, for those moments of shared humanity that lift us out of our everyday worries.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, it's been quite a journey.
It has, hasn't it?
From snowy mountain cabins to bustling city streets, from hidden meadows to ancient libraries, from secluded beaches to vibrant rainforest canopies.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, and through it all, we've explored these different facets of tranquility.
Yeah.
Discovering that peace can be found in solitude, in nature, in community, in creativity.
In the simplest moments of awe and wonder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
It has. And, I hope it's inspired you
Yeah.
to think about what brings you peace.
Yeah. What are those elements that we would include in our own personal dreamland?
Right. Because ultimately, creating a sense of peace,
Yeah.
it's not about escaping to some far-off land.
It's about finding it in our everyday lives.
Exactly. It's about cultivating those moments of tranquility
Yeah.
in the world around us.
So it's like creating our own little hidden meadows
Yes.
amidst the sunflower fields of our lives.
Beautifully said. And seeking out those experiences that evoke awe and wonder.
Yeah.
Those moments that remind us of our connection to something larger than ourselves.
And I think that's a great place to leave it.
I agree.
So until next time, may your days be filled with tranquility.
And your nights with sweet dreams.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Dreamland.